What up? I know that it's been like the hottest of seconds since I uploaded. Um, I think I'm gonna try and do bi-weekly. I really want to get in this. I have gone through a lot of transitions, which I'm gonna totally get into in this episode of Cambridge's life. um, but yeah, I just wanted to dive right in. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Y'all know who you are. Sorry, it's been so long. But yeah, I am really happy to be filming again and back trying to express myself and enlighten other people. I really want this to be like a people's podcast. I am going to try and have themes or like topics of the day and then my own little emotional rantings because that's just me. And I'm just posting these because I think that this is a good outlet for me. And I know a lot of people that maybe are going through similar struggles or maybe similar situations or whatever the case may be. And I feel like I've always been someone that people can talk to. And so maybe this isn't so much like shouting into the void. This is totally like a labor of love, like something that I really like doing. I really like communicating and talking with people, and I see other people doing it. And this isn't about being famous, like, or whatever. This is about like having a safe space and like showing people, like, hey, everyone kind of goes through the same things in life, and it's not those situations, but like how you react to those situations, like how you let other people affect you, and like how we can be, as they say, quote unquote, millennials, but like blessings to this because you know what? Like, I can do anything. Like, I can become famous from just posting things on YouTube. Like, I can live in my van and like drive all over the country and see the world and like whatever because you know what? Like, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to recycle. I'm going to try and make the world a better place, but I have to do it the way that I know how. And like, I can't do it the way you know how. I can't do it the way anyone knows how. Like, we can't sit in this like place of not being ourselves and being scared to be ourselves. Like, if we took risks half as much as we don't take risks, or like everything people preach. Like when they get old, they're like, oh, I wish I would have done those things, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm 24 and I have things and goals that I want to do. And like, I'm going to make them happen the way I want to happen. And I think that's like the biggest thing is not worrying about how it gets done, but like focusing on that. Like, okay, you guys may know I like love corgis, and right now like a goal in my life is to get a dog because I think that's something that I want to do. Who knows? Dogs could be a lot, humans are a lot, I don't know. Um but like I'm really focused on that. Like, okay, I want to get a job. I want to do this. I'll dive into that right now. I actually am unemployed, which is okay. I don't know. I think it's given me some time to think. I was recently in Flagstaff and I was working and making pretty good money and living in a hostel, and that was like pretty baller because I didn't have to pay any rent, and I like was basically making full profit because like the hostel gave me a little bit of money and then I had my money from my work, so I was like totally just like raking in the dough, which was so nice. And then I did injure my hand. That's, you can kind of tell these are like fatties and this one isn't. It's like not as bad as it was. Like, I got stitches on this finger, but like everything's healed. Like, it's gonna be a while before it's perfect, but like as is life, like once you injure something, like it doesn't fully go back to the way that it was. It just like you work with it and you move on from there. And I think that's a big thing. Like, I've been learning in the past month is like, especially from this injury, like learning how to flow and just like, okay, that hurts, like I'm not gonna do that, like okay, this feels good, like I'm gonna flow with it, and like not trying to push against or like strive, but like literally the statement, go with the flow. And like I'm not perfect at it, I haven't been perfect, like I preach on the I am not perfect. Like, I don't want to be perfect. I want to be so flawed. Like, this sounds crazy to people, but I really would rather be super flawed. And, like, every time someone says something I don't understand or, like, I don't know what to talk about, like, be like, no, I don't know what that means. Like, we should totally be more honest with ourselves and totally be more honest with ourselves when we don't know something. Like, why are we so ashamed to be like, I don't know that? Like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, a lot of my friends talk to a lot of people, like, they have a lot of relationships and, like, for instance, maybe boyfriends or something. Like, I haven't dated anyone in like 5 years. And those were like when I was in high school. And so, like, how relevant are those people? Also, I need some water. So, hashtag drink more water. Keep on the hashtag, homies. Um, but yeah, like I don't know, like I haven't been in a relationship and I don't know what these like futuristic newfound humans are about. Like boys are just boys to me. I'm just like, ah, next. Like what are you bringing to the table? Like how do you make me a better human? Like you don't. And this isn't like a poop on men day. It's like a honest, like I can do everything by myself. Like I don't need anyone's help. And that's probably one of my biggest flaws is like by the time I get to the level of frustration of like asking others for help, it's like too late and it comes off as this like aggression where it's like me not knowing how to ask for help and others not being able to respond in a way that's like honest and like willing to actually hear you from where you stand rather than just like assuming like how one would respond. I think that's something like a lot of people tend to do in their relationships. They forget that everyone has their own damage. Like everyone. Like you could have lived the most perfect life and you could be super damaged at the exact same time. Like no one comes away from life without like being hurt by other people because like you care what other people think. Like as much as we sit here and preach like girl, like you do you, like blah blah blah. Like people can say really mean and hurtful things and I think that's something that you have to work on and I honestly don't talk that much anymore and like don't antagonize or say anything because I'd rather just be like, you know, everything's fine. Like, it's not about like everything always being fine, but it's like finding what's like actually worth fighting for. And like, if you, with certain people, feel like it's just easier to be like, oh, it's just fine, or like, you're just a human, like, I implore you to go with those emotions because, like, maybe for a season of your life, it's about not trying to control the situation or trying to understand it. It's just like, you know what? Like, that's what it is for right now. Like, if things if things are supposed to like be the way that they are, then they're going to work themselves out. Like this is I don't know, my epiphany. I think that's probably the biggest reason why I'm posting this is like I've been in the last week like doing a lot of meditations and one in particular that has really just like taught me that like you don't need anyone, like all of those people that have hurt you, like you don't need them to say that they're sorry to you or that you mean something to them or that you're important. You literally just have to forgive that person. You have to forgive that person because no matter what they say, like if they really hurt you and if they like truly caused harm to your self-esteem or like the person that you are, like you have to forgive them yourself. It doesn't come from them. It doesn't come from them saying something or like whatever. It comes from you. I didn't think I was going to say all those things today. I low-key just wanted to do an introduction video back to my life, but I guess that's kind of how back to my life is. I don't know. I think there is an art to being honest, and I think if more people were more honest with other people, they would be more honest with themselves. And that's the key. Like, if you can take anything away from this video, is like, be honest to yourself. Like, you know, if someone does something that hurts you, like, don't deny that emotion. Or if someone does something that you like, don't deny that emotion. Just be like, I am seeing this emotion in front of me. Like, what that person did hurt me. Okay, I'm validating my emotion and saying, like, that hurt. And I'm going to have higher standards in, like, my next encounter. I'm not going to allow myself to be treated that way. And, like, you allow yourself to be treated the way that you are treated. Like, keep that in mind. Like, if you let people treat you a certain way, they're going to keep treating you that way because you've allowed it to happen. Like, just be mindful of that, and be mindful of where you put your energy and, like, who you're allowing to influence you. Like, just be super mindful, because I think when you focus on yourself and you fill your own personal cup and you make yourself better, that's when you can really give to other people, and that's when you can really bless other people. Like, you aren't always going to be full. Like, you're not always going to be full, and that's okay. But, like, don't run yourself into the ground and, like, forget that you're important. Like, you have to be first, and you have to be important. And, like, maybe other people think that you're selfish because you don't always, like, put them first and blah, blah, blah. Well, I hate to break it to you, but, like, your victim mentality is not going to affect me. Like, I'm so focused on myself, because when I focus on myself, I do the dishes. When I focus on myself, I clean my room. When I focus on myself, I do yoga. When I focus on myself, I go on my walks. When I focus on myself, I apply for jobs. When I focus on myself, I don't know, try to look halfway decent. Look at this hair, it's growing. It's blowing me away. I love it though. It's nice to have hair. It's also weird because it's kind of hot here in Las Vegas. So it's like, I like want to take it off my neck all the time, but then I'm like, I don't always want to have it up. But I cut my hair with my sister the other day, and that was actually pretty nice, but I think I want to cut a little bit more off. Yeah, I don't know. Like, may we always take time for ourselves and, like, remember that we're important. Because when you're important and you're balanced or whatever, then you're happy. Like, and if you're happy, then you can make other people around you be happy. And I implore you to maybe not find a routine, but, like, find things that you enjoy doing and do them. Like, I really like doing yoga. I do. Like, I think out of anything in my life that I've ever, like, enjoyed and, like, been able to do, that challenges me every time, that, like, forces me to, like, preach to myself. Because, like, you always find these people out there, like, trying to preach for you and trying to, like, tell you this or that. Like, you have to find that stuff within yourself. Like, it's hard, like, to struggle and to, like, not always know what's going on and to not always have all the answers. But, like, you have to find stuff within yourself. Like, you have to find your own purpose. You have to find your own goals and whatever. And that's, like, the scary thing. That's seriously the scariest thing, is that you have to do that stuff on your own. And it has to be about you, and it has to be finding your own identity. And I don't think until I turned 20, was honest with who I really wanted to be. Like, I'm just a little kid who wants to play in the dirt and like hang out with my friends and just like pal around. And how do you sustain a lifestyle like that? Like, how do you pay your bills? How do you do that? Like, these are things that I worry about. These are things that I do. Like, I pay my bills. I am on top of my stuff. Maybe it's not in the most conventional way, but it's like the only way that I've ever learned how. Like, the biggest hustlers I've ever met are people that are living in their RVs and also like paying to travel all these other places. Like they live like a bunch of hobos and people are like, "Oh, those hobos." And it's like, actually, those are some of the richest people ever. And they just don't flaunt the money. Like it's because the money's not anything to them. It's literally just like, "Oh, well, I have that stuff in the bank and I'm going to go get on the plane and go do this, or I'm going to take my kids out of school and like buy them really good curriculum and like teach them how to plant and like show them all these other things." And like it's not wrong or right. It's just like what you want to do. And I think that's like the core ideal is like no one is wrong or right. It's they why do people say all the time speak your truth? Because it's your truth. Like you could say that you think the blanket behind me is purple and someone else can be like, "Well, actually it's pink." And like there's full on controversies on the internet about these things, and it's like that's just your point of view. Like that's what literally those things are trying to show. It's like it's your perspective of a situation, but having the ability to come and sit down and be like, "You know what, this is who I am and I'm proud of it, and I don't need other people to make me feel good about myself." Like you have to do that on your own. And I think that's something that is like my constant struggle. Like it's an everyday battle of like feeling good enough and making sure that I can be on top of my stuff. But you know what? Like everyone has their everyday battles, and it's about not seeing them as battles anymore, but seeing them as like, that's who I am and I accept who I am. And you know what? Because I have those inside of me, I'm able to help others because I know those things. I can understand, I can empathize. Like, I don't care if maybe I have $1 million. I care if like I'm happy and if the world around me is like taken care of. Like why do I need $1 million when I can figure it out with maybe a couple thousand? Like why do I have to have like these things? It's like money doesn't go with us anywhere. Like it doesn't mean that much. It's really just a piece of paper that the man is trying to hold us down with, but that's just a rant. But genuinely, like we give so much power to things that shouldn't have power over us. What should have power over us is like being happy. Like every day I've gone on a walk, I've found at least like a penny, or like one day I found 31 cents and that was a baller day. But like I've saved a lot of change, and all I do is just go outside and go on a walk, and I don't even go on a walk with the purpose of finding money. I literally just go because I know it's good for me, and I always find it. And you know what? It's living in those little blessings where the universe is blessing you. Like, you know what I mean? Like other things in my life are taken care of, and I'm not super worried about like, oh my gosh, where's my next meal coming from or something like that. But I'm also like, you know what? These are little blessings. These are little things where like the world is like, okay, I'm blessing you. And when you're ready for the bigger blessings, then I'm going to give them to you. And I think that's another thing is like, when you're ready for the bigger blessings, then you'll receive them. And not like you have to work harder. It's like about letting them come to you and letting them flow. Like bigger things happen and like monumental changes happen when you just let them happen and just relax. Like, preaching to the choir. Okay, this was not supposed to be a 20-minute rant. I hope that you didn't think it was a rant. To all the homies out there, you guys should message me if you guys want to hear about something super specific. I love doing research. I love listening to podcasts. Like, I love knowledge. Like, if that's something that I carry with me for the rest of my life is, like, I love knowledge. It's, like, the most important thing. Knowledge is freedom. Knowledge is freedom. The more you know, the more you grow. Like it's true. I'm like reading 4 or 5 books all at once right now, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could finish all these in 25 seconds. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next week, but I do know that I will be back. I really am going to try and do bi-weekly. And just kind of tell you guys what's going on in my life. If you want me to talk about something specific, I'm more than willing to do that. I'm more than willing to have people on my show too, if you would like to. um, yeah, this is my life update. Hashtag it is what? 9/19/2019, you guys. Wow, that was pretty interesting. Um, it's a lot of nines, which is okay. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Something that I've been saying in recent moments, everyone has their little phrases. I think this one might stick with me for a while. Is blessings on all of your heads. Blessings, like just in general blessings. A very beautiful human told me too blessed to be stressed. Like, I think that is like preach. Like, we should live in the gratitude, you guys. We are too blessed to be stressed. And to keep the hashtag originals, I have this smaller water bottle. The Hydro Flask will be back when my hand is more healed. It's harder to hold. It hurts my fingers. And those of you that know me know I love to go on walks. And so it's like hard to carry my water bottle. So, hashtag drink more water, you guys. Ooh. A good thing that I found is drinking lemon water. It's really cleansing and it's really good for you in the morning. Water is just good for you in general. Like, you should just drink more water. Well, blessings, you guys. I will see you in a few days, and I hope that we can all learn to go with the flow and to focus on our breath. And when you feel like you're being pushed too much or that you need to step away, honor yourself. In everything that you do, honor yourself. If you feel uncomfortable or whatever, honor yourself and leave that situation. And if it feels good, honor that and stay in there. Blessings on all of your heads. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.